The first thing he noticed was the sound paper crackling under him like a dying fire. Isaac Crane sat half-dressed on the edge of an examination table inside a concrete room that smelled of bleach and metal. A single light buzzed overhead. His trousers hung on a chair nearby. His shoes rested neatly beneath it. The white undershirt clung to him like a second skin. He didn't feel cold. He didn't feel much of anything these days. Isaac was a hollow man, a creature reshaped by Hollowgate Minerals, a company older than any town still standing in Appalachia. Their process stripped away a man's soul and replaced it with something darker, something dug up from beneath the mountains. They said it made you loyal. They said it made you strong. They never said what it took from you in return. The door opened with a hiss. "Mr. Crane," came a mild voice. "Always a pleasure." Dr. Harold Gaines entered with a clipboard pressed against his chest. Unlike most company doctors who treated hollows like livestock, Gaines still said please and thank you. He was one of the few who looked his patients in the eye. "Take a seat," the doctor said, pulling up a rolling stool. "Let's have a look at you." Isaac obeyed. He'd learned long ago not to argue with men in white coats. Gaines checked his eyes, ears, reflexes. He pressed a stethoscope to Isaac's chest. There was no heartbeat to hear, but the ritual comforted them both. "You look fine enough," Gaines murmured. "Maybe a little worn, but then we all are." He flipped a page on the clipboard. Here we go. Memory lapse. Form M74. Isaac said nothing. "Lost a few hours on your last assignment in West Virginia, it seems. Care to tell me what happened?" Isaac stared at the gray wall behind the doctor. "I don't remember," he said simply. "That's rather the point, isn't it?" Gaines chuckled, then grew serious. "Any strange voices? Unusual sensations? Compulsion to act against orders?" Isaac shook his head. "Nothing like that. Just snow. Then, nothing." The doctor scribbled notes. "Snow can do that to a man." He stood, stretching his back. "You've been in the field a long time. Isaac, tell me, when's the last time you had a full renewal?" Isaac frowned. "That procedure's for damaged operatives, isn't it?" Gaines smiled. The kind smile of a man preparing bad news. "Not necessarily. Renewal strengthens the bond to the company, refreshes the body, sharpens the mind, gives a man purpose again." "I have purpose," Isaac said quietly. "Do you?" Gaines leaned forward. "Renewal could give you another 50 years in perfect condition." Isaac's gaze drifted toward the floor. 50 more years of what? Doctor? Killing? Obeying? The doctor looked uncomfortable. He signed the report with a flourish and said, "You're cleared for duty. But think it over. Isaac, loyalty and longevity, that's the covenant." Covenant. The word lingered like smoke. The next day, Isaac stepped off a private railcar into the bitter Pittsburgh cold. The steel city was alive with travelers, men in wool coats, women clutching Christmas parcels, porters shouting for tips. Isaac adjusted his hat and scanned the crowd for a shoeshine stand. A hollow man should look immaculate when representing the company. He found one tucked in a quiet alcove, brass fittings, leather chairs, soft jazz humming from a gramophone, a place where secrets traded hands as easily as cash. He sat down. Before the attendant could approach, someone took the seat beside him. "Mr. Crane," said a flat voice that seemed to speak directly into his thoughts. Isaac turned. The man beside him was utterly forgettable, a blank face, pale eyes, black suit and tie. "You may call me Nolan." The voice continued without moving lips. "I serve under Division Superintendent Harlan Locke." Isaac despised dealing with these things, the servitors of Locke Security. They weren't truly alive, nor dead. They were the company's walking telegraphs. Their minds shared like a hive. The documents are in the briefcase by my chair, Isaac said curtly. Deliver them to your inspector. Nolan nodded once. When Isaac looked again, the seat was empty. The briefcase was gone. Isaac exhaled, glancing at his pocket watch. 10 minutes before his car arrived. Enough time to rest his eyes. But rest never came easily. Behind his closed lids, he saw a cabin small, quiet, hidden in some green valley. Easel by the window, paints laid out. A life that belonged to someone who'd never been hollowed. For 9 years, he dreamed of it. For 9 years, he believed maybe, just maybe, he could be free. When the driver arrived, Isaac followed him into the blowing snow. The sedan carried them west out of the city and across the Ohio border. He was going to Oak Mill, a town asleep since the Great Depression. The car stopped in front of a derelict church, white paint peeling. No signboard. Windows clouded with grime. A cross above the door leaned like it wanted to fall. Isaac tipped the driver, then knocked. The door flew open so violently that snow gusted inside. A shirtless man with a wild beard filled the doorway. His chest was covered in dark hair, his eyes wide and gleaming. Well, look what the blizzard blew in, he shouted. You come to steal my pickles, stranger? Isaac blinked. I beg your pardon? Pickles. You got one. I'll take 2. The man laughed like a lunatic. Isaac remembered the note in his pocket. Ask for James Clay. Pay Joshua no mind. I'm looking for Mr. Clay, Isaac said. The madman bellowed up the stairs. James, someone here for you. Ain't me. No, sir, I don't steal pickles. I just eat him. A moment later, a heavy-set man descended, bald, barrel-shouldered, with kind eyes dulled by exhaustion. That's enough. Josh, he said, shooing the wild man away. Go on now. Mind the pantry. Joshua bounded off, singing to himself. The newcomer extended a hand. James Clay. Folks call me pastor around here. Isaac Crane. He replied. I know who you are. Clay said softly. Come on, son. He's waiting out by the ridge. They circled behind the church to an old Ford truck. Clay drove them into the forest, headlights slicing through the dark. Joshua seems unwell, Isaac ventured. Simple. Maybe. Dangerous once. Not anymore. Clay smiled faintly. He was one of us. Hollowed long before they perfected the process. Stronger than any man alive. But his mind didn't come through intact. Isaac turned to study him. You were one of us too. Clay's sleeve slid back, revealing a silver watch engraved with an ornate H. 50 years of service. He said, we were the first. They called us the founders once, me, Joshua, a few others. We were gods to the company, till we weren't. He glanced at Isaac. Our friend up ahead helped us disappear. Offered you the same, didn't he? Isaac stiffened. I don't know what you mean. Clay chuckled. Sure you don't. The truck veered onto a narrow logging road. You're a good man, Isaac. But good men don't last long under Hollowgate's thumb. Remember that. They stopped in a clearing. Walk that way about half a mile, Clay said, pointing toward the trees. You'll find him. Isaac hesitated. Clay. Name's just Clay now. Pastor. If you like. Go on. Son. He's expecting you. The woods swallowed Isaac whole. After a few minutes, he saw firelight flickering ahead, a perfect circle of stones. 2 folding stools beside it. He sat on one, waiting. Snow drifted down. Time stretched thin. Then the forest seemed to breathe, small creatures rustling. Unseen eyes glinting violet in the dark. They watched him. Hundreds of them. Until they didn't. One by one, the lights blinked out. A crunch of boots on frozen leaves announced a newcomer. The man who stepped into the light was older now. gray in his beard, but still broad and steady. He wore a flannel coat, overalls, and heavy boots. "Evening, Isaac," he said. Isaac stood. "Mr. Stanton." "Milton," the man corrected with a grin. "Ain't no mister here. Not anymore." They shook hands like old soldiers. "You sure you weren't followed?" Milton asked. "No, sir. The family sleeps for now." "Good. Sit. Let's talk." They sat by the fire, the wood popping softly. "I heard you've been thinking of cashing out," Milton said. "Starting fresh. Maybe painting. Was it?" Isaac looked into the flames. "Something like that." Milton nodded. "That's good. That's healthy. We can help with that. But first, you need to cut the cord." "What cord?" "The one in your head. The one that makes you love your captors." Isaac's jaw tightened. "They are not my captors." "Then what are they?" He didn't answer. Milton sighed. "Isaac, listen to me. Hollowgate rewrote you from the inside out. Every loyalty you feel, every memory that makes you grateful it's a leash." "You're wrong." "Am I?" "You ever wonder why you can't hate the ones who made you this way?" Isaac's hands clenched. "I owe them. Especially her." "Her?" Milton raised an eyebrow. "Miss Barrett," Isaac said. The name left his mouth like a confession. "I've protected her for years. Her brothers want her dead. I can't abandon her." Milton laughed, not cruelly, but with genuine disbelief. "Son, that woman's a monster. She'd burn a town alive to prove a point." "Watch your tongue." "There it is," Milton said. "They built you to defend her, even from the truth." "She's not what you think." "She's exactly what I think. And she'll get you killed." "Enough." The shadows around the fire grew thicker, trembling like smoke. Milton leaned forward. "You ready to die for her? Is that it?" "I'm ready to die for what's right." Milton stood. "Then you're a fool." Isaac rose with him. The night seemed to inhale. From the edges of the clearing, darkness poured like a wave. "Stop it, son," Milton warned. But Isaac couldn't stop. His rage was an instinct older than memory. The black tide surged, swallowing the trees, the fire, the stars, a flood of living shadow. And yet Milton didn't move. His form shattered into 1,000 points of violet light eyes. Wings, claws, a host of creatures scattering through the dark. When they merged again, he stood unharmed. "You done?" he asked quietly. Isaac collapsed to his knees, trembling. The fire rekindled itself. "I can't leave her," he whispered. "I already lost my brothers to bloodshed. I won't lose her too." Milton looked at him for a long time. "You're still chained, son. Not by iron, but by guilt." Isaac wiped his face. "You don't understand." "Oh, I do. I've been where you are. Thought I was saving someone. Turns out I was guarding the gate that kept me locked inside." He sighed, the sound of an old man giving up on a stubborn child. "You ain't ready. Go home, Isaac. When she's done with you, maybe you'll see. I won't betray you." "Doesn't matter," Milton said. "They already know about us. They always did. Only question left is when they'll come collecting." Then he was gone. The creatures vanished with him. Isaac found Clay's truck abandoned in the clearing. The keys were still in the ignition. He sat behind the wheel for a long time, staring into the endless white. The road back to the city wound through miles of forest-black trees. Silver snow. No sound but the engine and his own hollow breathing. He thought about Milton's words. About the renewal Dr. Gaines had offered. Maybe that was the answer. Wipe it all clean. Start over. But he knew better. Renewal didn't heal. It erased. By dawn, the truck reached the Pennsylvania border. Smoke rose from factory stacks in the distance. painting the sky red. He whispered to no one, "I would hate to lose me, too." Then he drove on back toward the covenant he could not break. Weeks later, in the dim corridors of Hollowgate House, Dr. Gaines reviewed a file stamped "cleared, renewal pending." He glanced at the photo clipped to it Isaac Crane. Expression unreadable. "Pity," he muttered. He could have been free. Outside, snow began to fall again, blanketing the world in silence. Somewhere far below, in the mines that birthed the company's power, something ancient stirred, waiting for the hollow men to return. And they would. They always did. Violence often wears the mask of duty. Loyalty can become a leash disguised as faith. In Isaac Crane's world, obedience turned men into monsters long before the company touched them. What about ours? Do we excuse cruelty because it comes with a paycheck, a uniform, a promise of belonging? Let's talk about it.